All right, we back with another one, and this story comes out of Columbus, Ohio. I've been hearing some rather disturbing stories coming out of Columbus, Ohio. It's like they have this atmosphere within the police department where they do not have to follow law. I'm going to show this quick video of a 14-year-old being brutalized by this Columbus officer. What's his name? Donovan Beaver. Pretty aggressive. Fair use YouTube. And then we're going to get into the story. This incident happened February the 19th. Walking while black. They see the kids, teenagers crossing the street right here. And they decide they will pull them over or pull up on them. Let's chat about what? I don't blame these youngsters for running because a lot of times they know what it is, and these are cops already aggressive. You see he jumps out and he immediately pulls his weapon. This one has his weapon in his hand. He grabs the young boy, bangs his head against the concrete several times. Look how rough he is with him. It's a teenager, 14 years old.
You move, I will break your face.
Busted his lips and then punched him in the groin. Didn't ask for medical for him if he needed medical. Dragging him by his hair. This whole video reminds me of a slave patrol. An Ohio cop was fired from his job after shocking body cam footage showed him violently arresting a 14-year-old black boy in February for a pedestrian traffic violation. Pedestrian traffic violation, that's what they call it. They were just walking across the street. What the hell? According to the Columbus Dispatch, Donovan Beaver and another cop saw a group of teenagers lingering in the street at a crosswalk near an apartment complex on February 19th. I didn't see them lingering in the video. I saw them just crossing the street. But okay, let's continue. Both cops drove up to the teens and said, "Let's chat." And the teens ran off. One officer got out of the car and chased them on foot, while Beaver drove around in pursuit. Them running, that's to be expected. We see how these cops are when they interact with us because they know how these police officers in this area get down. They ran. It doesn't justify what he did afterwards. Beaver's partner caught up with the two teens, pulled out his gun and raised it at both boys while ordering them to get on the ground before threatening to shoot them. Both teens followed his orders. Beaver's body cam footage showed him pull his car to the area where his partner detained both teens. He's seen getting out of his car and running towards the scene. The boys were already on the ground, but Beaver ran up to one teen, bent down, grabbed his locks, and slammed his face to the ground, blooding his nose in the process. They left out the part where he drew his gun out, and he also had his gun pointed at the teenagers. The teen is seen groaning in pain and distress while Beaver cuffs him and begins roughly searching the teen's pockets, saying he's searching him for a gun. Police officials also said he struck the teen in his groin during the arrest, so he also punched him in his balls. The teen yells, "I'm sorry and I'm complying," repeatedly and tells Beaver he doesn't have a gun. In the footage, Beaver is heard saying to the teen, "You move, I will break your face." After searching him, Beaver drags the teen by his locks back to his car. As they approach his vehicle, Beaver asks the teen, "You got AIDS?" Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant criticized the officer's action and said they had no reason to draw their weapons or use force on the teens. She said they should have pulled over and respectfully approached the teens to talk about pedestrian laws. "I was angry, disappointed, upset," Columbus Chief Elaine Bryant said of the arrest. That is not what we reflect as Columbus Division of Police. The majority of our officers have great relationships with our community. Within hours of the arrest, Beaver's gun and badge were confiscated, good, and he was placed on leave. He was finally terminated from his position on June 10th. That's not enough. That's not enough. And he shouldn't be allowed to go to any other department and get a job as a police officer or security for that matter. And he needs to have charges placed on him because those were teenagers, those were children. He needs charges, child endangerment, and whatever else you can put on him. Lock him up. One thing I've noticed in these stories, how they stop saying whether the officer was on paid leave or not. Other city officials condemned the arrest and shared their approval of Beaver's firing. Our community deserves better, and that 14-year-old deserved better. Columbus Police Safety Director Kate Pishotti said, I'm angry how this one officer's petty power trip calls into question the integrity and hard work of the entire division, Columbus City Council President Shannon Harden said. The conduct of these individual officers is unacceptable. Falls far short of the standard expected of, blah, 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 blah. The same thing they always say when incidents happen like this, and then they happen again and again and again. Beaver faced 3 citizen complaints during his time on the Columbus Police Force, 2 of which reported harassment and the use of profanity and rude language. Beaver's former supervisor had warned him about his language and use in the past. In November 2021, he violated policy by continually swearing at the arrestee while taking him into custody. During his April 2022 performance review, he had been given constructive feedback about his interactions with the public, and the department arranged for him to be retained in de-escalation tactics and verbal confrontation. Well, it obviously didn't work because he's still out there doing the same shit. They know many of these police officers are out there doing the things they're doing, and yet they still remain on the force. Now, this guy has had a history with continually swearing at arrestees, and I'm willing to bet you that he's did more than just swearing at them. I'm pretty sure he's acted this way in the past, roughing up individuals. Now, that your job as an officer is not easy. You're going to have incidents where people are unruly sometimes, but you always got to remain professional. And people like this, they are on a power trip. They got some kind of power and they run away with it and tend to abuse it in many cases. I'm going to just say this. This guy definitely needs some charges on him. Never work as an officer again. Find you a job at Walmart or something. Even then, if you working in the public and you got that type of attitude, where could you go to work? You need to work alone if you feel this kind of way about other people. These are children, but we know they look at our children different than their own children. They can sympathize with their own children, but when they see our children, they see them as something other than children. Well, we're going to close it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we will see you on the next one.